I rewatched Space Mutiny,
We did too.
and I watched the pure one, like the original, and
Okay.
it's interesting. I haven't seen. Did Riff Tracks do Space Mutiny?
Yeah.
Well, that's the only one we can watch. I don't think I could sit and watch. Does she sew her breasts in the uncut one?
Yes. There's like
why?
one nipple. It's weird. Well, the thing is, I think it's I don't want to. I don't say that.
We'll discuss it later.
It's that time again. Time for the all-new Culture Cast, which begins right now. Welcome back, everyone, to the all-new Culture Cast. I'm Nick, and with me is Cuz, Mike, Corinne,
Hello.
and a cast of thousands. I was watching a Bozo special not that long ago, so that's kind of stuck in my mind a little bit.
Was it Bozo dubbed over by any chance?
Oh, fuck. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Yes, I got my I think you should leave reference in, so I'm happy. I'm good for the night.
Thank you, Nick.
The one of many that I'm sure will pop up over the course of the however long. But yeah. So what are we talking about tonight? I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about a slog of a movie called Space Mutiny, which clearly came on the heels of, I'm guessing, Star Wars in an attempt to very sadly be Star Wars, maybe? Do you think it's trying to be Star Wars?
There is a character that's named almost Leia.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of futuristic. Everyone just wears what appears to be aluminum foil, like silver. It's supposed to look futuristic, but it's actually incredibly cheap looking.
And they also drive around in things that, if you think golf carts are sad, these are even sadder, and yet they still wear helmets, even the bad guys.
Yes,
I got my dad's enforcer for the weekend.
Yeah, it was
the
jump.
But it is one of those so bad it's good movies.
Yes. And cuz you had not seen it before, we forced you to watch this, didn't we?
Oh, wow.
Yes. Although I will, I think I will say I had like a Vietnam style flashback because I think, how did you guys find out about this movie? I just want to kind of.
Riff Tracks.
Actually, Mystery Science Theater first.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that one.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, yeah, I saw it first with Mystery Science Theater 3000. And then we watched the Riff Tracks version, and it's the same three guys doing it, too.
Oh, Michael did the...
Yeah, he did that one, too.
Yeah.
So
I saw it through MST3K as well, first.
Okay. So since I'm the young buck here, I did not watch this is my first time seeing this movie, Space Mutiny, in its purest entirety. But as soon as I saw the name Cameron Mitchell pop up, I'm like, some of this is starting to seem familiar. And I remember many years ago in college, I was binging Red Letter Media, which, by the way, I realized because they had covered this movie about 7 years ago. My God, has time flown by?
Wow.
But regardless, so I was like, oh yeah, I think I did, which I did after I watched the movie. I kind of rewatched their bits on it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember, because I'm pretty sure it's their goal to cover every movie that Cameron Mitchell has ever appeared. Yeah, and then after that, they close up the channel. They're just done.
So then I hope they also cover Deadliest Prey.
I would like Deadly Prey to be
Deadly
one of the
Prey.
next
Yeah,
movies we
Deadly
do.
Prey.
That is also a David Winters joint. Another person I would like to go. I will have a long rant about David Winters briefly, but please finish your thought, Charles.
Well, I will say after again, and I hadn't, so that didn't really so much impact my viewing of this because I was like, again, I watched that years ago in college.
Mm-hmm.
So watching this, kind of going in as pure as possible, I can say 100% I feel like Hans Moleman, The Simpsons. You people wasted an hour and a half of my time, and I want it back. I'd probably just do something. I just wasted anyway.
Charles, I have to ask you, do we waste your time or enhance your living experience at the greatness that is Space Mutiny?
Character building.
I don't know what the term editing is anymore, or I guess anyone could make movies. You and I, all the four of us, could have made Space Mutiny and probably done it a lot better.
Mhm.
We have technology.
Challenge accepted.
But at least we didn't make you watch one of the 11 Bruce Willis movies that came out last year.
Oh God. Oh God.
Speaking of Red Letter Media.
Yes,
That was amazing.
that was.
I had no idea these were even things. I had no idea.
See, I've always walked past them, like when I'm at the Walmart, seeing the red box. Okay, I'm quick side tangent, then we'll get back to Space Mutiny. I just assumed they were garbage, and seeing clips of those movies kind of just confirmed what I suspected.
Uh-huh.
At least with Space Mutiny, you can tell. Okay, we're trying to ape off Star Wars, and or possibly inspire Die Hard, because I looked it up. They came out the same year. But anywho, at least they're trying to copy something that's good. Anything that Bruce Willis doing, I'm assuming someone just throwing some crap against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
And seeing
Or
how
just and just have Bruce Willis sit in a chair for the whole half of the movie, and then have a body double step in when it's not his face because he doesn't want to be in the same scene with another actor.
Yeah, I'm assuming he just showed up and was like, "You got me for one day. Don't invite anybody else, and I'm out of here at 5."
You know what? I'm not even going to dignify that Bruce Willis is this generation's Cameron Mitchell, because you know what? Cameron got the full. He put on that Santa Claus beard. He may have sat in all those chairs, and I think he was in a completely different movie because he was talking about, like, I hate violence, but it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's like, but like everything you bring up, and anytime Cameron Mitchell speaks, I think he's reading a different script for a different science fiction movie that's in no way related to the event we've seen.
It's funny you say that, because we'll talk later. You're not far off from the truth.
Oh.
Oh God. Oh God.
Maybe he's being
fed
fed lines too. Maybe he's being fed lines in
his earpiece.
Sorry, everybody. We keep referencing because it is kind of connected. Red Letter Media came out with a video about Bruce Willis and the 11 movies he did in 1 year, and just how it's basically like a garbage movie factory, just one after another after another. And it was funny watching that, because then we watched Space Mutiny, and I could say, well, Space Mutiny is kind of fun, at least. Everybody's trying. It's a bad movie, but they're at least trying. Nobody's just half-assing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of overacting. It's not underacting, which is clearly what Bruce Willis is doing, or just showing up.
This is why I'll take Nicolas Cage crappy movies any day of the week over Bruce Willis, because at least Nick Cage brings his A game to everything.
Everything. He was always in Nick Cage mode, and I will always love him for that.
Nick Cage, look, we're getting off topic, but I do have Nick Cage is a goddamn professional. In the same year, he starred in both that movie Pig and also in the movie Jiu-Jitsu. All right? If that's not fucking range, I don't know what is. Okay? Oscar-worthy movie, and then cheap Predator knockoff in 2021. That's incredible. That is range, sir. That is range.
And he hosted that delightful television show about the history of swear words.
Yeah, on Netflix.
It was fun.
That was fun.
Nick Cage is a journeyman. He is someone I wish I could be reincarnated as.
He's a Renaissance man.
He is out of his mind, but he will always bring his version of the A game to whatever he's doing.
I could just imagine, like, his agent, like, Nick, this company wants to do a movie. Yeah, I'm in. You don't even know what the movie's about. No, it's fine. Sign me up. But you're going to be playing. No, I don't. Sign me up. Do it. So why are we not signing the papers right now? Like, okay.
His agent be like, Nick, did you just buy a Tyrannosaurus skull? Yeah. Why? Fuck. Nick, did you just buy 2 albino cobras? Yeah. Why? Because I can. Did you just purchase an octopus? Yeah. Why? Because it inspires my acting. All that is true. All that. Look it up, people. I know my Nicolas Cage. Okay.
Google it.
Maybe he's like Bleeding Gums Murphy, and he has he has an addiction to buying Fabergé eggs. That's why he has to do all these movies.
It's fun. Like Nick Cage, like also acts like tries to act like a random guy. A couple years ago, he went to like some comic convention just as a fan, and he's going up to tables like buying stuff in booths and getting things signed, and people are like, well, Nick Cage, you don't need to do this. Why are you doing this? Like, because I want to. Years ago, my buddy Zach, who I used to podcast with, but sadly he doesn't podcast anymore. He also moved to like Thailand or something like that, so I don't talk to him much at all anymore, which makes me sad. But he came with an idea for like a show, which sounds amazing. It's called Being Nick Cage's Assistant, and basically you just like Nick Cage plays like a fictional version of himself, but not far off, and like the guy just like the assistant like is like contracted to do all these really bizarre jobs for Nick Cage. Like it'll be like 2 a.m. in the morning. Nick Cage calls him. It's like, hey, give me a dragon fruit. I'm like, what? It's 3 a.m. and we're in Singapore. Where the hell am I going to get a dragon fruit? Like, get me the damn dragon fruit. And it's like, oh, damn, fine. And just follows his like journeys on doing these weird assignments for Nick Cage and Hijinks Ensue, which I'd pay damn money to see a show like that because that sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
steal this idea.
Need that right now. That needs to be a thing right now. I would totally binge that.
I feel like that's what Gary Busey wants to be.
You heard it here, Netflix. We got your next $1 million idea.
All right, speak about $1 million ideas. Space Mutiny, people.
Okay. Nick, what is a space mutiny?
It's a mutiny in space. Alternate title of this movie in some regions. So, okay, I'll dive into Space Mutiny because I unironically love this movie. I know it's terrible, but it's like the good kind of terrible. It's campy, the acting's bad, the sets are awful, but it's like has like a little bit of charm to it. So
and an actress that was dead in one scene is back in the next scene.
Continuity. Yeah. Who needs it?
Well done.
It's a clone.
It's a future. Her twin sister. So it takes place in the far-flung future where we're on the southern sun, which may or may not be the last remnants of humanity. We don't know because characters just come into the scene from other places, and like our main protagonist. On this ship, it's a generation's journey to this new planet. And on this ship, some people are getting restless, and they want to go off to like this pirate territory and find a place there where they can rule over everyone. Doesn't seem like a good plan, but whatever. But there's the security force comprised of supposedly 200 agents are secretly planning to overthrow this ship. But it takes one lone man. Maybe at times the timeline of this movie is confusing. Played by Captain America's very own Reb Brown. What's his name? Jack something. What's his name? Fist Big Strong Punch. Yeah, David Ryder. Right, Ryder with a Y. To stop this mutiny and win the heart of the leader's daughter, all on the same day, and hijinks ensue. Plus, in a completely unconnected plotline, these mystical witches join the ship and sort of do stuff.
Yeah, they're just kind of there.
I don't believe that ever resolves, and you don't really get a reason for that, how they got there, why they're there, why they allow them to be there. They're pretty just chill about it. They're like, oh, hey, welcome.
Yeah, I thought at some point maybe the bad guys would try kidnapping them, because I thought maybe they were trying to set that up.
It just seemed like another a pointless sex appeal thing, just like women in leotards dancing around with sheets. No point to it. Why were they all women? Why were they all gorgeous? What did they do?
From what I can gather, it serves a very important point. You see, in order to qualify as a movie, you actually need to be around 90 minutes in length. That extra 30 minutes of the Space Witches adds that critical 30 minutes. Otherwise, you're qualified as just a short film. Released in foreign markets.
You're not far from the truth, honestly, all right, you want me to dip into this? You want me to dip into the production of this right now?
Yes, let's do it.
So I found this is according to a YouTube video. It's about a 15-minute mini documentary on this movie, and it's bad movies have fascinating production stories.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly, David Winters, who was supposed to direct this movie, he at the last minute was called away because his dad died, and he's like, "I'm not doing this movie." He was like going to write. He was like, I don't know if he wrote it, but he was definitely producing it, and he did all pre-production. They said, "My dad's died," and he's like, later. He dumped it on someone else to actually direct, and so they plow through their story, and the minute the principal photography was done filming, the director Neil Sunstorm was like, "All right, later, people," and refused to have anything else to do with the film. During this time, David Winters got a terminal disease diagnostic that thought he was supposed to die in a couple of months, but since he was producer, he had to oversee the final edit of the movie, at which he noticed that he eventually recovered. It wasn't as terminal as he originally thought it was going to be. He noticed that the film was very much under time length. So they went back and created the witches, what are they called? The Bellerophons or something like that. I don't remember that. Yeah. And to just pad the running time, which is why they just pop up, don't do anything, and it's just completely and there's no resolution to it other than they tell him Calgon's going to betray you, and that's it. So you're right on the money, cuz I didn't know if you knew that beforehand, but they were literally added in to pad out that running time.
See, I think I read something briefly on the Wikipedia about Dave Winters having to drop out at the last minute, but I did not realize they did not have enough footage to complete the movie. So
that does explain a lot more now.
So, suddenly this movie's making a whole lot more sense.
Hey guys, hang on 1 second. I got to go take care of a kid-related thing. Just a moment. Hang on.
But yeah, there definitely felt like there was some padding with this movie, so that makes a whole lot of sense.
Well, instead of the movie has no. Well, it is a recording. Man, Nick can scrub through this later. The movie just has no sense of flow. Like I text you guys saying the future is nuts because literally in back-to-back scenes they celebrate. There's almost like the after party. There's waitresses serving drinks. And
there's two different dance parties going on. One of them is very much in the middle of the war, and you're like, why are they at this dance party? And there's always randomly at least half of the women are wearing just a leotard to work. That's their uniform. They had no pants, nothing. And I'm like, what is the point of this? One of them at one point just has super long hair in the second party and looks just completely naked sitting in a chair. And I'm like,
because you got to sell the movie. Although I am surprised that I guess they didn't go full sleeves. Where it's let me show you my boobs so I get out of the situation. It didn't go full sleeves. Everybody kept their clothes on. That's all I'm saying. Even
that woman did show her nipple in the sex scene, which was completely unnecessary and uncalled for. And how old is she supposed to be? That woman? Because I feel like they make her seem like she's like 25, and it's like, come on, no.
She's the only one who showed up to auditions for the role.
Yeah. I think she really was Cameron Mitchell's daughter, and that was the only way he would be in the movie.
I'm back.
So we were just talking about the little dance parties and the fun bar, which everybody is drinking like a blood red drink, which I'm guessing is supposed to be some sort of cosmopolitan type thing out of a cosmopolitan type martini glass, and dancing with hula hoops, which was one of my favorites. The hula hoop dancing.
As you do in space.
Like you do in the future.
Given the production value, that was not cosmopolitan. That was straight up jungle juice, and you know it.
I was like, that was red pop.
Squeeze it.
So Cameron probably kept a little stash of bourbon on him at all times. Like, I'm just here for the money. Just pours it in. I did want to bring up the costumes really fast because I think props should be awarded where needed. Like you got to point out the silver linings. They were at least able to make sure that every actor was fully costumed, and they did that through the cost-saving method of stealing footage from Battlestar Galactica. You don't have. Turns out you can save a lot of money when you really don't have to make your own special effects.
Allegedly, they actually licensed that footage. Allegedly. According to things I'd read. I mean, if that's true or not, I don't know, but I'm just telling you what I heard.
David Winters found a blank beta tape, stuck it in his VCR, and pressed record. And it was like, I got it licensed, everybody. Because at first I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty cool looking miniature. I hadn't really seen Battlestar Galactica, but as soon as the little ship showed up, and I was like, wait, that looks like a Viper from Battlestar. Then suddenly I start seeing, like, oh no, they're just straight up stealing now, aren't they?
Well, they didn't steal it. It's, what would they call it? Creative something. I don't know. Creative. Something like that, yeah.
They're sampling.
Yes.
It was an homage.
An homage, yes.
They were tipping their hat to Battlestar Galactica, if you will.
I guess for the legal team over at David, or I don't know what the name of the company made this was. So for legal purposes, yes, it's a homage to a much better well, actually I never really watched the original Battlestar, so I don't even know if it was good, but at least I know what it is, so that's something.
So with this movie, do we even I don't even know what the bad guys' plans were in this movie other than causing a mutiny, I guess you can call it that.
The plan was like very simple. It's like it was very simple. It was like, okay, we want to just land. Don't care anymore. We don't want to go to this habitable world that's 10 light years away. These pirates, which they're never clarified, are those pirates human pirates or are they like alien pirates?
Nobody knows.
Like, is it like a Dune thing where like, oh, these people are just like, it's so far in the future, these people are just like genetically modified to look different from like normal humans? But regardless, and this is where lore becomes important, you're either the last hope of humanity or you're part of a wider galactic network, because they keep mentioning
the law of the galaxy.
Yeah, which I'm like, well, who's writing these laws? And they mentioned like we're not just like a cargo ship or freighter ship. So I'm like, okay, so there's other ships that pass through here. So like, are there like other little?
I have these exact same questions because Ryder joins the ship because he's dropping off the professor, and like no one, like it's the first time anyone's meeting him. So where did he come from? Where did the professor go? Are there other like ships out there carrying humanity?
Which also gives me the question, why are there so many varied accents on the ship? Are these people, honestly, I mean, aren't they all from this area, essentially? Like, why is there, like, the random New York guy and then, you know, a British one, you know, or something? And I was like, where are you from? I don't understand. But then they all speak English. So.
Son, the Southern Sun is a melting pot of accents. We're all in that same cosmic gumbo.
A cosmic
gumbo, if you will.
Number 2.
All right.
So I'm going to talk about David Winters and his life, the baffling and confusing and started incredibly promising and ended pathetically life of David Winters.
This is fascinating.
Oh my God. So my very favorite movie of all time is West Side Story. I love West Side Story. It's amazing. I love it. It's fantastic. Nothing comes close to West Side Story. Won all the Academy Awards, and rightly so. So very good. Anyway, before the movie was made, obviously, it actually originally was created and then was put on Broadway. The original Baby John character was David Winters. He was cast as a pretty significant role in West Side Story on Broadway. Then they made the movie and they kept him on. Not many people stayed on. He kept on and played the role of Arab in the movie West Side Story. A significant role, like he has a whole verse in Officer Krupke. Like it's a pretty good role. He's a phenomenal dancer. Very, very good dancer. Everyone in the movie is obviously like an amazing dancer, but especially the Sharks. Like the Jets. Like throughout the whole movie, they're on screen practically. He's amazing. He is so, so, so good. After that, he does like some Nancy Sinatra videos that you can find on YouTube, and that's the one that they show on Dance in the Town that the boys are watching.
Oh, okay.
And like he does some choreography work, and I don't know what happened, but then at some point he decides to become a producer of really shitty movies, like horrendously cheap, terrible, sexist, garbagey action movies, like this, like Deadly Prey. Which is another gem we should watch at some point that he produced. Barf. And then closer to the end of his life, he starred in and directed and wrote with his production company called East Side Story. This horribly 80-yard movie called Dancin', It's On. And that's Dancin', no G. Dancin', It's On, which has this really just really cheaply shitty thrown together. It has everybody in it was on some form of like So You Think You Can Dance, but like the Canadian version, you know, or something, or, you know, didn't win the American one. Like it's not connected directly, but they're all like somehow from one of those franchises, and they're all in this movie. They're not actors, very clearly. The whole thing has really bad like audio. It's like synced up very, very poorly. It doesn't make sense. It's awful. His character is this like ridiculous like old man who's just cranky and stupid, and then of course at the end is like, but I will choreograph the winning show and everything will be amazing. And he even does this very small dance number which is somewhat laughable, and you're supposed to be like, wow, like this guy can dance. We had him wrong. We thought he was just a grumpy old man. And it's like the whole movie is just so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And I think that was his last thing. And then I actually was in West Side Story at Lyric in 2019 when he died. And I remember people kind of being like, oh, did you know the original Baby John passed away? And I was like, I'm just keeping my mouth shut. I'm not going to say anything about what I know about this. I'm not going to tell everybody like that.
The Space Mutiny.
Yeah, I will not say what he ended up becoming and how he decided to foray into movies the worst possible way, with the worst possible movies you can imagine. And like, I just don't even understand why he decided for some reason, like in this 70s, 80s time, to be like, I'm just going to go smack dab into like action, but like incredibly low budget, terrible action. I don't see the connection or why he thought he had the experience to do that.
Well, he clearly saw First Blood and said, "Oh, I want to do that. Let's make a version of that."
Oh, I got your answer. It's 2 words: cocaine addiction.
Hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yeah, I had it's very hard for me to watch West Side Story now and see him come on and be like, ugh. Not just be like, oh God, you could have been so many things. Like that guy, that young man is going to grow up and do terrible stuff.
But in the end, he was dancing it's on, so it's okay.
Dancing is on is another episode we should do. Just throwing it out there. It's funny. That is actually
Yeah, we actually learned about that one from Cinema Snob, and it's a really funny video. And then Riff Tracks just released their riff on it a couple weeks ago, and now it's like our favorite Riff Tracks. We can't stop watching it.
Just for David Winter's character.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. And God, so badly thrown together. And oh God, it's awful. It's just so awful and so funny.
You mentioned briefly Deadly Prey.
Yes.
Did you know that they made a sequel to Deadly Prey? And allegedly, the production staff who did the first one did the sequel, but because they saw that the first one was getting kind of like popular. But unlike other people, like The Room, where they'd be like, oh yeah, the other one was really a joke, so we're going to make a tongue-in-cheek sequel. No, they completely misunderstood why it was becoming popular. And the sequel apparently is as ridiculous as the original.
Oh wow.
Like they learned the wrong lesson from why people were liking it. And we're like, well, we'll give them more of what they liked in that first one. And no, you must understand it. They're liking it because it's bad, not because you're a secret genius.
Oh, is it Deadliest Prey? Is that it?
Yes, I think so.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
I think he has like a son in it or something.
2013.
Wow.
Hey,
Good heavens.
David Winter's maybe a trailblazer. That's right before The Force Awakens and the soft reboot. Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
man of action. I'm not going to say stealing because they came out the same year, but we got to talk about how this may be the first Die Hard before there was a Die Hard. We got a guy in a wife beater, spiked up hair, in an impossible situation, and he's got to save the day with him, with just his fists and his training because he's the best there is, just like John McClane. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Also, I think J.J. Abrams may also owe a lot to Space Mutiny because I noticed 2 things that he would take away from this. One, the idea of, hey, we could just use an old factory for an engine room, a la Star Trek 2009.
Yes.
And also, I think that's where he got the inspiration for somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow Calgan returned. You can't put him down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting side note about the engine room. The stories differ, but like how you could clearly see Day in like the windows in Space Mutiny there. Supposedly, when they shot it, they either they were going to or they didn't, or someone in editing thought it was a mistake and color corrected it. They're going to put like orange filters over where the windows were and give the impression that, oh, these are how the engines work. And a good way to hand wave over using your scenery. But either someone forgot to do that, or in post they thought, oh, why is everything orange? Well, we better fix that. And just no one bothered to tell them that wasn't supposed to be like that. So who knows what the real truth is?
Hey, they had access to that warehouse, and by God, they used every bit of it to make their spaceship.
They also had one set that they used again and again and again. The bridge set was the mutineer set, which was also the storage room that they put the witches in. Here's your room, have fun. Like no beds, no nothing. Which was, I'm sure it was used in other ways too.
And they just they found a wing of the warehouse. You're just like, okay, this is a big enough space. We can probably build our set here.
Probably. I also love how I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, how they kept reusing footage over and over and over and over again. Like anytime something mildly exciting happened, they threw a big party on the bridge and everyone's in their same spot drinking their In fact, the one girl who's in the bathing suit, but her hair is just where it looks like
hair, so it looks like she's naked.
Yeah. And like Calgon looking at the computer screen, all like angry when people are giving him messages. They used that one at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, this is where it's like, again, I jokingly called it like the first Die Hard, but I think at some point, of all the things they could have reshot, they never showed a scene of Calgon actually taking over the bridge, because it seems like Cameron Mitchell and the captain have full control of the ship. They mentioned that, we're being diverted off course because the engines are down, but they never really imply like that Calgon has taken over and is actually directing the ship. It just seems like they're drifting into pirate territory. Like, there's not that scene of like.
Didn't they blow some stuff up that was causing the ship to like not go where it needed to, or am I just filling plot holes in my head?
I think they blew up one of the engines, and then the spaceship that we conveniently never actually see, except for like, here, show that security footage. It's like the little like
beep,
I don't know,
beep,
like
beep, beep.
Like Pong screen where like it's just like the black. It's like, yep, that's clear as day of what actually happened to your ship. But yeah, it's not really. But there's not the scene of like Calgon storming the bridge and like, Commander, you're relieved of duty, and like he shoots him or something. Like, it's just nope. Calgon's apparently at one side of the ship and everybody else at the other side, and there's not even like the other thing I was kind of comparing it to. Like, you guys saw the Winter Soldier, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Like what if in that scene where like Cap's on the speakers, like, half of the strike team and half the Shield agents are secretly Hydra, but instead of people like drawing their guns and being like, basically a big shootout about to begin, they just go about their normal day. The enforcers are still just able to walk around the ship. Nobody's trying to take them down. Like, I'm pretty sure that announcement happens. There's the pirate attack, which the enforcers help, even though Calgon and the enforcers are working with the pirates. And then it just seems like it's business as usual. Like, at no point there's like, we got to start a resistance. I think that maybe Ryder talks to a few random dudes in engineering and it's like, okay, you'll be the soldiers and you'll be the lookouts. But that's like, okay, I feel like you should have really, stopped Calgon from taking over the bridge.
Hey,
I don't know.
cuz they might have used soldiers, but Ryder said to them, now let's go and kick some ass.
Yeah.
Oh, so much screaming and growling from that guy.
Yeah, he's not and look, I admit I don't have the manliest voice, but holy shit, that's not the kind of guy that should be screaming and yelling like that. That should not be the hero of the movie.
Hey, Reb, you want to do another take of that? Nah. Perfect.
It's fine.
I'll be honest. It was only really in that last like chase fight scene where it's like, God damn it! He's trying to get the stupid golf cart prop to work because it's like
that golf cart thing. I know we mentioned before, but can we just talk again about the fact that they're wearing helmets?
Yeah, even the bad guys are wearing helmets.
They're like, hold on, safety first. Let me put on this helmet when I go 10 miles an hour in this absurd little, very bottom-heavy thing that couldn't possibly tip over no matter how hard we tried. Why the hell?
Did you notice how?
I feel.
Oh, what were you going to say, cuz?
I was gonna say, I feel like with a brisk jog, you could probably outpace that thing. It could not be going that.
It was so small. It was so stupid.
Did you notice how like the numbers keep changing on the ones they're in?
No,
That's great.
At one point, it's also misspelled in. I know it says enforcer. I think it's in one of them. It's misspelled like it's like missing like the E or the R. Like I think it's missing the R. Like it's enforced. It's like real quick. Like they're just doing pickup shots and they just did not care.
because of course.
I know, Mr. Winter. Won't people notice that enforcer spelled wrong? No one will care. That's the magic of movies.
Hey, he wasn't even on the set to oversee any of this, and he didn't give a shit. He thought he was dying when he had to do the edit. It's like, this is what's going to kill me, literally.
Yeah, like
I don't have a lot of personal things in my office, like a couple of pictures, but I willingly and excitedly printed out the highest res image I can get of the Space Mutiny poster on like a little piece of paper that I have tacked to my office wall.
nah.
Oh, everything okay?
Okay.
Is there a space mutiny happening over there?
We might have a Space Mutiny on our hands. That's okay.
That's okay.
Fine.
Shoot.
Oh. Here.
I think our mic is being funny. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Keep talking, please.
Calgon is clearly on your.
Hold on. Take me away.
Idiots! You're all idiots!
This is mutiny. This is violating of the law of the galaxy, the law of the universe.
Wait, since we're talking about the village, you bring up the fact that the chief engineer, like in this first like scene, we saw these other engineers like, okay, we're going to mutiny. The one guy's like, I'm not going to. And he fucking stabs him with like his cane, I think.
It shows
He's
you how
like,
he
he did
means
what-
business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anyone else here who wants to confuse freedom with treason?
You know, this movie is very appropriate to our times. This is why it's the perfect movie.
See, the other thing that I can't get over, and this
Just
is
one?
after when I was watching the credits, I feel like some care must have gone in because like all the henchmen get names. Did you notice that? Every single henchman
Yeah.
had a name.
Oh, wow.
It's like
What?
it's like Saturday morning cartoon villainy names. Like I think one was called like Mohawk, and another one was like Slap or something. It was ridiculous. They had like cartoony names.
It was honestly, it would have been more. If it had just been like a small, again, if you're going with a Die Hard situation, you have your bad guys who are like a small elite group of like super terrorists. Again, Tommy Lee Jones and Under Siege, which I think, honestly, I just wish this movie was Under Siege, but in space, because it would have been perfect. Steven Seagal as what's that guy's first name? Zack Ryder? Dave Ryder?
David, just like Winters.
Oh. Honey, I can't come up with a name for this character. Just use your own. But yeah, it's like that's something that's been kind of keeping me up, that kept me up last night. I was like, so somebody cared enough to give these henchmen names. They're not just henchmen 1, 2, 3, 4. They had names. They could have done something more with it, but they just, I guess, chose not to.
Can we discuss the clumsy and very funny like seduction scene? How that woman gets away from being like tortured dentally or whatever is going on, where she's like, take off my shoe. And she's like, if you go and what does she say? Something, if you do something, untie me, you can see everything. And she's like they really didn't search for like an attractive young woman for the role. Like they didn't put a lot of effort into it, so it's not convincing anyway. And then but apparently, yeah, we're supposed to assume that she's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful and hot.
Well, Reb Brown might disagree with that because that's his wife in real life.
Were they married before the movie?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That explains it.
That also explains why, again, the movie was clearly setting itself up for like, okay, how can we get some boobies into this picture?
Yeah, we were talking about boobs before you jumped on, Charles. Is that in the version that I watched, it's not in the MST3K version. I doubt it's in. I don't know if it's in the. I doubt it's in the riff track one. But there's like, it has to be accidental nudity, because like when you have nudity in a movie, they make sure you see it. Like here, it's like a nip slip that they just didn't like want to like cover up, or they didn't realize that it was showing. Because like every
and
other
the
time,
greenhouse bang.
yeah, like
They
every
want-
other. Like every other shot, like she's covered up, like, PG-13 sex scene where the girl's covered up to here, the guy's covered up to his waist, and but like except for that one shot where she rolls over, and it's very strange. Like, did they not realize that and they just didn't care, or was it intentional? It's weird. I don't know.
Star Wars was very popular with kids, so we got to make sure that kids can see this. And you know what? Kids need to learn the facts of life. All right, they need to learn where babies come from, and Space Mutiny is that vessel.
I love how this movie, speaking of the sex scene, goes from like these two hating each other to begrudgingly getting along to, hey, where's Leia? Oh, she's in the garden. Okay, cut to they're like smashing.
Yeah, how much time had passed? And then at the end, he's like, so you won't marry me? I'm like, what was the extent of this movie? Like 5 days, maybe? Not even?
Hey,
You won't marry me? Like, Jesus.
Can I just say, going back to my buddy Zach, we watched this movie in college for the first time with MST3K, and that line we just quoted to each other all the time. Because the line comes out, it doesn't make any sense in context. Like, she's like, oh, are you going on the trip? Does that mean you won't marry? What? So like we would like say stuff to each other like, hey, I'm going to get lunch. Do you want to come? Does that mean you won't marry me? Like we'll just quote it left and right. Because it's so great. But yes, there's definitely a time issue in this movie. You're right on the money there, Corinne, with that. Yeah, even by Hollywood standards, it's weird.
It is. And then, yeah, it all happened so fast. And that seduction scene is so put on and not, it's just so, it's like trying to be comical suddenly. Like, now it's funny.
The villain is like a cartoon character.
And I'm like, I find it hard to believe that this guy would be relatively high up in this mutiny group.
Mutiny organization.
Yeah, like how did he get so far up? Like, is he also married to Reb Brown or whatever? How did he make it so far?
He's married to Calgon.
Yeah, I think so. Because that was just dumb and just lame and. And
Yeah,
just,
but
why is she's always running around. And I discussed this when you had walked away from the microphone, is the continuity in the uniforms with the women. Like, I would like to know why some are completely covered head to toe and others are just wearing like a leotard with no pants and high heels. And that's what they're wearing to work. Like, they'll be walking around with a file of papers.
Well, in this universe, Mike Zuckerberg's version of Facebook didn't evolve into what it is and just became the whatever you call it, the Harvard ranking hot girl app.
The Facebook?
Was that what it was originally called? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. And then they just used that into real life. So based on your level of attractiveness depends on how much clothes you wear or don't wear. It's
I also
science.
was it Calgon apparently had like a side piece and it was like a fully clothed, randomly sleepy girl for a few minutes. And I was like, what's this about?
Yeah,
What's wrong
like
with her?
that's so
Really?
weird.
I'm a little surprised they didn't use that opportunity to have a scantily clad woman. But No.
That was weird
No,
too. Like that she just pops up. She's like in 2 scenes, and it's just like being there, and then like not there for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Calgon
Like she could
didn't
be like a
have.
henchwoman. She could have had in a good movie. She could have had like a fight with Leia, where they each demonstrate. You can have like the female empowerment angle that movies like to use, and they can have like a neat choreographed fight scene where Leia overcomes her and like flips over a rail or something, or I don't know, blow her up since this movie loved its pyrotechnics. But that would assume they cared and want to put
And they
some
could have
effort.
added some more sex to it. But I mean, no. Didn't even want to go for that jiggly Charlie's Angels element. All right.
Well, I was going to
Seems
say,
like
I was going
easy.
to say, there's no. Calgon may not have had a scantily clad woman, but he did have a scantily clad man. That like bodyguard that was in like the hockey pads. And he was in the hockey pads.
How about those dudes hanging from the ceiling and that old guy's like
I love that old guy.
office or whatever? Like, what the fuck was that about? Why?
Well, they actually explain that in the movie, as weird as it seems. Like anyone who betrays or disagrees with Calgon, if Calgon thinks they're worthless, they get jettisoned. Which you think there'd be like a listing of missing people on this ship, but whatever.
No one notices.
But the people who he thinks still have potential, he freezes them, like puts them in like,
Puts him on ice.
puts them on
Cryogenics.
ice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So like theoretically they'll be unfrozen when their punishment is up or whatever. But I love that guy because he's so like he's like the weird old hermit that doesn't know what the hell is going on and just follows Calgon's orders because why not? So
It is also interesting that, again, I'm assuming like I've never been on a generational spaceship, so I don't know what the layout is.
you're
This place
missing
seems
out.
huge
You
and
haven't been? You've never been?
No, I have not. But I have been on a cruise ship, and I can find the Lido deck pretty damn easy. I would feel like the head of the enforcers, your official security agency, should be on like a map where that you could just easily track. And maybe the daughter of the ship's commander should probably know that, hey, this dude's been like freezing people and like, ice in a giant freezer that takes up a huge portion of your ship.
What would help out tremendously, and I don't know, it can't be that difficult to add it in like a line of dialogue of expository dialogue, like how big this ship is, because like is it like the size of a town, the size of a planet? Like we don't know, we have no concept.
We don't. And then randomly they're giving a statement over like a intercom thing, and you see somebody in their living quarters with children. They're just like listening, like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I'm sorry, there's like apartments and stuff in here. I'm like, what? Do they work here? What is this? Is this a planet? What is this?
I mean, it's a generational ship, so I guess there would be kids around. You think you'd see more kids, but I don't know.
Just that one.
Just the one. That's how they're keeping their population growth not to be too big.
Put a lot of faith in that kid.
But like some sense of size and scale would help. Because like as is, you're like, I have no idea what's going on. Who are these people? Why are they?
Well, the writer is like running everywhere, so I assume this place is fucking huge. He's got a bolt everywhere across this goddamn ship. Again, through the many hallways they had in the warehouse that they filmed in, which I'm assuming was like an old waste treatment, like somewhere with a lot of pipes. A lot of pipes.
Well,
Look at
don't
that
worry.
value.
They had their enforcers to get them around, so it didn't take too long.
Yeah, the little rascals.
The thing is, this movie, despite it being like coming in the wave of Star Wars knockoffs, like the pieces are there for like a relatively entertaining sci-fi adventure, but it just fails at every single turn.
Well, like your big, if the four of us were to remake this movie and like actually structure it out, like the meet up with the pirates, that's your ticking clock. Like they're like, okay, we're going to be this ship is heading towards pirate territory. We won't have contact with any other ships, and once the pirates reach us, they're going to board us and take off. We don't have weapons; the enforcers do. So that's your ticking clock. Calgon's in the bridge, leading the Southern Sun towards the pirate territory. That's your thing. We got to stop. We got to take back the ship, turn around before you get to the rendezvous point. And then you could have that, a ship battle. You could have a fight between Calgon and Ryder. Again, simple things of escalation. Instead, the big pirate conflict's like halfway in the middle. They celebrate with drinks, and then Calgon's fairly just allowed to roam around the ship, no problem. Lisa's just like going back to her fucking garden, which I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, we need for this a spaceship. So this gotta be like a big spaceship. So it's gotta have like a greenhouse. Well, we only got about like 20 minutes to dress this space as a greenhouse. Someone go to Home Depot, get a bunch of those plants you got that are already in the pots, they're nice and big, and just put them around. Put some rocks, and we're gonna call it the greenhouse.
Yeah.
He also laid out that fake carpet or fake grass where it's like really bad astroturf. Again, because this is the greenhouse room that Lisa or Leia is going to go to, and Calgon just strolls right on in, no issues. Hey, I'm not the most wanted man on this ship, who threatens the lives of everyone in this crew. Stroll on in. I mean, at this point, everybody knows that Calgon the Enforcers are no good, and somehow she's got to go check on her plants. She's got to go check on her plants.
Yeah, they're not that concerned, clearly.
I guess not.
Cause you bring up a good point. Like, if we were to remake this movie, like, how would we structure it? Here's what I would do. I would, with the Space Witches, I'd make them the secret villains behind it all. Like, have them board the ship because they want to take over the ship because maybe their race of people are dying and they need like life support to like suck the life out of people so they could live. I don't know. And they start putting messages in people's minds. Like, they start making Calgon more paranoid, so he wants to mutiny. And so the good guys are trying to fight Calgon as a distraction, and that's like meant to be a distraction while the witches are going to do their stuff to take over the ship. And then after Calgon's defeated, they realize, oh no, Calgon was not really our enemy per se. He was being manipulated, and so we got to take down the witches. And I don't know. I think that'd make it at least a little bit more dynamic than the very simplistic story they have here.
But see, that wouldn't work because that actually sounds like a good movie, and that's not what we're talking about right now.
Also, we're talking about how we would do it differently. I mean, I think we're forgetting that it did end on a cliffhanger as if they were going to make another. So
Space
we can
Mutiny 2.
make another. They're not dead at the end.
I've actually got I got a little bit of a slight twist of how to incorporate the Balerians, the women in the bad leotard, in the ripped up leotard. I would say that Calgon and the chief engineer want to take over the ship. The Balerians are actually part of this pirate faction and are being allowed on board as some sort of like dignitary. Again, pretending to be like this peace-loving witches, but really they're part of the pirate faction. Calgon, only has a small support from his close henchmen, but he doesn't have control of all the enforcers. So the witches, using their power, mind control all the enforcers and like knock out everyone else except for like Ryder, because he's your chosen one or something, and he's resistant to their mind control, and thus that's why he's the only one who can save the Southern Sun, because that's incorporating the witches. That's why the pirates and Calgon are working together, and it's also why he really, really hates Ryder. I think the chief engineer I'll be honest. Some of the dubbing was really bad. Did he say he had a history with Ryder? Like he's the reason why I got a limp?
Supposedly.
Yeah, but we don't find out because the next scene he's limping away into apparently methane just can condense itself into like a little convenient channel.
Let's talk about that very briefly. For a science fiction movie, it definitely didn't have a lot of science. There are people like smoking on the spaceship. They have like gas and like willingly like blowing things up on the spaceship. That's a terrible thing for a spaceship. That would like,
For an enclosed space, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I can see the bad guys blowing stuff up. Fine, they're bad guys. They're doing that. But like, why would Ryder willingly like? Why would they have like open containers of gas? And why would Ryder have like a flamethrower? Doesn't he have a flamethrower at one point in time that he's like trying to burn things? Like, what are you doing, you idiot?
Then he's shooting like a bazooka or something that looks like a bazooka when they're in those ridiculous
like a Power Scope from Nintendo.
Yeah.
In most like sci-fi movies, we're like, okay, we gotta stop. The bad guys are our tails. We got to put up a force field or like, we'll like close the bay doors and like shoot the controls that way they can't open it. Here, they're like, I'm gonna make a giant fuck off wall of fire, and they're like, well, can't get through there. They're not gonna can't get. Mohawk's like, damn, we can't get past that wall of fire.
Well, we've been thwarted. I guess we'll go home.
But the reason they were allowed all the gas and explosives is because they clearly labeled it methane, danger. It's stuff like that that's really. OSHA said it's all good to go. So on your generational ship.
0 days since death in this year.
Actually, I just saw this. I think the other thing we got to bring up. So if this movie was like an RPG, I think the chief engineer and writer both put a lot of points into sneak because it's several times. I know like when Ryder and Leia are leaving like the cryo room, they're just on the other side of the door. Everybody just walks like they're on the left side of the door. Everybody goes right. It doesn't see them. Like they're not even hidden like up against the wall.
Peripheral vision is no longer a thing in the future.
Yeah. Same thing with the chief engineer. You just stay in the middle of the room just shooting everybody, and they're just like, just shot. And he's not even like taking cover. He's just in the middle of the room just going ballistic, just like, pew, pew, pew. And they're just, again, nobody must even recognize that, oh, wait, the chief engineer is against us. But I do think we have to give credit. I mean, they did set 2 stunt performers on fire. You know what? Props to them. They didn't.
This movie loved their pyrotechnics. I will say, like,
Yep.
Like things were blowing up like every other scene. So and they were fairly well done. So I gotta give them credit where credit's due on that.
Yeah, like I said, that's like kind of the. I wish they were a little bit more creative, but you know what? They set him up. They managed the rotoscope little laser blast in there. It's perfect.
Hey, for this movie, that's about as creative they're going to get.
Like I said. Hey, I'm as a self-professed pyromaniac, I approve. 10 out of 10. But again, I do people falling over rails, which my God, like even though they had rails everywhere, people were just tripping over those things. I think they were like coated in Vaseline.
I willingly jumps. He's like, I'm just gonna jump. When they offer him, they're like, here's your choice, this or that. He's like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, that's what I'd do if I were in this movie. You're like, nah.
Later.
Yeah.
It's like I love how the villains, like, when they're trying to track like the good guys with information, they're able to get to them like seconds of when
Ryder's got to do like a marathon sprint across the ship.
Well, yeah, like the one guy at the beginning who contacts that lady on the command center is like, I think there's explosive being stolen I'm going to keep it a secret, but we better see each other in person. And she's like, okay. And then like Calgon's monitoring the communication, which why did that guy use the communications? Whatever. And like we must stop this guy. And they're immediately there.
The other thing I remember is after he falls, they're like, oh wait, he had a long like Santa Claus style list of paper, and you couldn't tell like someone standing on a ladder, just like they had to drop it on top of them. Like, yeah.
Looks like paper that came from like the dot matrix printer.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't have just held it as he's on the ground to like, make sure like plop.
I love how like unnecessary bloody that was for this movie. Like he falls down, like just blood just gushes from every orifice.
Yeah, this character that we've known for like 30 seconds and notices that, like, where do you think it was going? Like, presumably if like the enforcers are your security force, yeah, they'd be probably using explosives because reasons. Instead, it's like a big deal. Like, there's some explosives missing, and there just was a big explosion in the cargo bay. Which, don't they say a line of like, nobody gets in and nobody gets out? I'm like, were people trying to get out of here?
Yeah. Where are they going to go? Don't you disintegrate?
Yeah, it didn't seem like there were extra ships.
Yeah, no life rafts leaving.
I will say this, ships in the future, apparently our military evolves where instead of just like a single seat for the cockpit, it's a full couch that everybody gets to kind of chillax on as they fly through space. Again, they're forward thinking. Humanity is we're very progressive. We know where to put our money.
Well, I love this movie. I own the MST3K version of it. I should see the riff tracks one. I bet that's pretty good.
It's very funny.
Yeah, it's really good. They did a live version. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So would you guys say you would ride or die for this movie?
Absolutely.
I would ride or die.
10 out of 10. Again, it's a terrible, horrible movie, but it's so bad. It's good. It's fun. I don't know. I can never get sick of it. I think it's great.
I do love the Vox Humana soundtrack in the background. That's clearly someone with like a keyboard and a cigarette in one hand, like playing that like it's just one note at a time. And then the occasional trumpet.
If I ever make a movie, I'm going to use that fanfare in it. Can we just say one thing? How John Philip Law was amazing as Calgon. It's like he's like the only actor who realizes this movie is ridiculous, so I'm going to ham it up as much as I humanly possibly can.
Yes.
I think a couple people did that.
Except Reb Brown. He was playing it straight.
This would be a really dumb question. Is John Philip Law Mac's dad in It's Always Sunny? I was getting a lot of Mac's dad vibes from him.
That would be so cool, but he probably is long dead. But I don't know.
He died in 2008, so it's not Max's dad.
And
that would be so funny, though.
I think it's the eyes. They just have that same sort of like crazy eyes.
He just needs a tattoo on his neck,
Idiots. The villains understood this. I think the villains and Cameron Mitchell understood what kind of film they were in. I don't know if anyone else did. Maybe like the Cryo Freeze old man. He understood what kind of movies. He's like, careful.
I wish
think
they
should do Deadly Prey next because it's an absolute lateral move from this. It's David Winters produced and it has Cameron Mitchell. It's pretty perfect.
You said Deadly Prey?
Yeah.
I'm saying
I mean, I'm okay with that.
I'm saying
It's,
feature.
yeah. And I have the Riff Tracks version, so I can hook you guys up with that.
Pretty amazing.
Oh, I think I found I found a pure version as well.
Oh,
This is the description. A man in his shorts must survey a twisted training exercise by a renegade group of rangers. Cameron
Yep.
Mitchell is present, but not sober.
yep, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's something else.
It's
And the guy who's the lead is the writer and director's brother, and it just makes so much sense.
Nice.
Hey, that's how you get your start in Hollywood. Vanity.
And end, basically.
there's a line in it. I'm not gonna say it yet. Well,
Oh,
when
there's
we
so
see
many.
it, yeah.
There's so
When
many.
you guys see it, you'll know. It's just awful.
Oh, and it looks like Deadliest Prey is also on YouTube
Is this
as
Hoopla?
well.
Oh, YouTube.
Ooh.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm thinking double. This sounds like a double feature.
We could do a double feature.
I'd be down for that.
Sure.
So I'll post the links in the Facebook group or the Facebook chat. I don't know, on Facebook. We'll get zucked.
The Book
But,
of Face.
The metaverse.
So, all right. I don't think Cameron Mitchell's in part 2 because I think he's dead by this point. But
Yeah,
Well, then it's a no-go for me. That's
Nick, legends never die. Okay. Cameron Mitchell is drunk in whatever plane of existence, mumbling his lines, wishing it was the good old days again. But you know what? A paycheck's a paycheck. God damn
I
it.
mean, the movie's only a few years old. Maybe they CGI him in it. Just like, I mean, that's the
Maybe
latest
they do a
trend.
hologram like
Yeah, I mean, they're doing that with a bunch of other actors and other shows and stuff. I don't see why they couldn't do that too.
Star Wars brought Mark Hamill's back to life, and he's not even dead.
Like, I just showed up. Just ask me.
Like, oh my God, I think that I'll put that on the back burner because I got some thoughts about Luke Skywalker's speaking style.
are you talking about Mandalorian or any of those Disney shows?
Yeah. Oh, I guess spoilers. I guess.
I know about it. It's okay.
No one cares. No one cares about Boba Fett. No one does.
They care about Mando. They love that guy. Just shows up and man, I think because he's frustrated. I think he's frustrated that he's in a Star Wars story. He just wants to just do his own thing. He keeps getting wrapped up in all this goddamn space magic and all these factions. He just wants to just chill, hunt some people, and just chillax, get some credits.
He wants to Disney Plus and chill.
Who owns the rights? Go back to my earlier idea. Who owns rights to Space Mutiny, and how can we purchase those rights? I think we've got a great idea for a sequel.
Let's see. I'm going to Google that right now.
I think we probably just have to offer somebody a Snickers bar, and that'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think that we can get the deal done with Snickers bar.
You know what? Why do we need to take the rights? They took footage from Battlestar Galactica. Let's see.
Oh.
It was distributed by Action International Pictures, which were known to do a lot of low budget, crappy type, they're like Canon type films. It doesn't say who owns them currently. Maybe it is just. Are they even still in existence? Action International, AIP.
A gift card for Denny's. We can get it done. Gift card for Denny's.
Gift card for Denny's.
I think one bottle of Jim Beam, and not like a big one, like the regular size, for them all to split. I think should
Plastic. Not the. We're not going fancy. Not the glass shit. Plastic bottle.
Oh, interesting. So, going back to what you were saying earlier, Corinne, Action International Pictures was owned by Winters, David Winters, and AIP was also known as West Side Studios.
East Side Studios?
Well, the Wikipedia says West Side Studios, so I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
God.
East Side was. Maybe he had a bunch of different companies and just went with it.
wow.
Wise.
So okay, so so in '92, Winters bought out his partners and rebranded AIP as West Side Studios.
Okay.
He did it. This was acknowledged as a nod to his 30-year association to West Side Story, as well to de-emphasize action films.
Well, Corinne's never gonna want to watch West Side Story again after that.
Oh, I don't know about that. It would take a lot more than that to turn me off to West Side Story.
So we have to dig up David Winters and try to rewrite his will so that way we can be willed to write the Space Mutiny.
Interesting. Oh, hey, I guess two of Cameron Mitchell's kids were in this movie, Space Mutiny. I don't know who they were, but they're in this movie.
God, I hope it was Mohawk.
Let's see. Oh, the Wikipedia page says. Let's see. What happened to the Wikipedia? Stupid Wikipedia. Be more easy. I don't know. Wikipedia doesn't say. We'll never know. Well, I don't know. I got nothing else to say about Space Mutiny. I think this is it's one of those bad movies that I legitimately enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, unfortunately, due to my exposure to the Omicron, I could not enjoy this movie with a nice, tasty beverage, a nice cold beverage, which
You could have.
I could have, but my doctor did not recommend it. By my doctor, I mean my wife. So, but I do feel like this is a great time for everyone to gather around, crack up a cold brewskis, and let the Calgon flow.
Amen.
All right. Well, I guess that'll do it. So this has been a fascinating look into Space Mutiny, and I don't know when we'll do our next one. I know as of this recording, next week is Super Bowl and Valentine's Day weekend, so I don't know if we'll connect at that point. But maybe next time we all meet up, we'll do a dual feature of Deadly Prey and maybe Deadliest Prey. That sounds like
Oh boy.
be amazing.
Yes.
So things to look forward to in the future, folks. So, Corinne, Mike, it's great to see you all.
Thank you for having us.
And yeah, thanks for all you listening out there. And join us next week when we talk about Twilight. Have a good one.
Bye.
You've been listening to the all-new CultureCast. Follow us on Twitter. Drop us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We can't promise we'll read it. Theme music by Dana Vodovaz. Check out his work on YouTube at Vodovaz Music Productions. This has been a Saltwater production. Original material copyright 2022. Thanks for listening. As you can see, I finally got my shelves worked out, and I can't tell if it looks cool or junky.